Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and Civivi Knives has got a new release this month called the Pragma Prime. Now the original Pragma was this one here, which was essentially a high-end utility knife. It's got the carabiner bottle opener back end, skeletonized, thick but lightweight aluminum handles. They're not scales, they are the handle. Strong standouts on that. This one's got kind of a unique shape to it, which I really like, and I love this knife. It's like a high-end utility knife with that modified Wharncliffe blade. Now, this one was Nitro V. I'll get to that. So this is the new version called the Pragma Prime, and again it's got the thick aluminum, not scales, but handles. It does have a reversible pocket clip, but of course tip-up carry either way. That's just important, you know, when you deploy it out of your pocket, that you've got the back of the knife against the palm of your hand, which then allows you to easily deploy it. Otherwise you'd have to do one more move of flipping it. It does maintain that same blade shape, which is quite a utilitarian blade. Most of the force, if you're trying to use it in traditional methods, traditional cutting is going to end up right up at the tip. It's hard to do slicing with something like this because the entire blade is flat. So you don't get any real roll mechanism unless you're focusing all the cutting up at the tip, which there are many jobs this does very well. Another thing about this that is worth mentioning is they really have dialed in this push button lock. Now it might seem like a simple mechanism, you've just got a stop in there that moves out of the way, but it's basically machining this to the point where you have this near perfect combination of effort to unlock the blade, but then also to be able to lock the blade without risking unlocking the blade accidentally. So if I push this down, you can see at what point the blade drops. Get my fingers out of the way. Keeps going, and then right there. So it isn't a full flush, but really close. And as you use this more and more, you realize that's a sweet spot. It's predictable. You don't have to have, you know, a tiny little finger pushing in that. I can do it with just the meat on my thumb, and that's plenty good. And of course, then I can easily push the button and flip this out. I'm looking at my camera there. There we go. Open, closed, open, closed. It's really unnatural to try to do it in this position, but you get the hang of it. Strong stainless steel standouts, 3 of them here. It's got some reinforcements around the front end, standard caged ceramic bearings that Civivi has been using. Now Civivi is in the middle of the kind of the 3 lines from the WE Knife Company. Their WE knives, WE, is actually the high end, very expensive, comparable to Civivi, you know, maybe more bench-made prices or custom-made prices. And then there's another one, another lower brand called Sencut. And Sencut is really taking advantage of kind of the vertical technology transfer in the WE Knife Company. So Sencut is price-wise below Civivi, and Civivi is below WE Knife. And Sencut is quite affordable, whereas this Pragma Prime is coming in at around $80 street price, or $94, you know, full retail. This Sencut here is coming in at around $40. Now the Sencut uses a black blade with a hollow grind versus that big flat grind here. It is a flipper, so it does have a flipper lever, you know, with mild bit of jimping on that, and then it also has the thumb studs, so you can easily, if you get something under there, you can easily flick it open. Olive, kind of drab or olive green G10 scales. You can see the stainless liner with black paint on it, or black coating. I'm not sure what the coating is. It's got a smaller, you know, more delicate, if you will, looking pocket clip. I mean, they are saving money. We've got a $40 knife here, and to me this has all kinds of kind of nods to the classic old Buck 110 right here. The Buck 110, been around forever. You know, it's way thick. It's got the kind of the spine lock. You know, the original ones had wood and kind of harsher edges up here and the brass that tarnished right away. They're standard. I think they used a 440 stainless. But as you can see, there's just some nods to it, I think, in terms of the hollow grind. It doesn't have quite as aggressive a clip point. Beginning of a drop point there. But if you're into knives and you want just good quality and it's coming out of a similar factory, if you will, to both the Civivi brand and the WE brand. And on this one, we've got the 9 CR18 MOV. A lot of those are, you know, when we read off these chunks of numbers, if you don't follow knife steels, they're just different countries' variations of kind of some of our traditional American steels like 420 or 440 stainless, things like that. This is, you know, if you want a large knife, you like hollow grinds, they can be very, very sharp, sometimes a little tougher to sharpen because you've got that severe concavity as you work towards the blade. Maybe not as strong as a flat grind, but most of us aren't wedging, you know, prying with our knives, and you just like the kind of the almost military-esque-ness of a knife like this. Well, there you go. It does have reversible pocket clip too. Again, both tip-up carry. I like that Civivi is evolving. There's new stuff all the time. Some people get kind of saturated with all of the options, so there is kind of that choice paralysis. It's something to think about. Or you don't know when to jump in because next month might be a little bit better. My advice is get the stuff and use the stuff. You know, there's a lot of this stuff is going to last. A lot of these knives are going to last for many, many years, if not your lifetime, especially if you take care of them. But these are tools. They're designed to be used, designed to be out in the field, designed to be working. That's what they do. So as long as you at least meet the threshold of what your needs are, then jump in. You know, with any brand. I just bring together, you know, this monthly, it seems, the Civivis. I like the innovation. I like it keeps the kind of the juices rolling, and you know, as far as all the options and learning about different techniques. Many of these are designed by Civivi. That's the designer. I'm sure there's a person behind it. Civivi calls them Civivi knives. They're not using one of the other designers that they have, which they have a huge assortment of them. But somebody's behind these. Somebody's making decisions. I'd love to know more about that. So if Civivi wanted to ever share that, it may not be a knife designer, but there may be a committee, a boardroom, you know, sitting around with different designs. But what's behind it? What are you going for? You know, which might give me a little heads up on what might show up next month. But overall, you know, it's just impressive that this stuff is available. You know, I grew up with case knives and charade knives, and boy, when Kershaw showed up, it was wow, look at all these options. You know, and now you can get almost anything. So this would have been an amazing knife 30 years ago. As far as an option, nobody was doing that. Well, somebody probably was, and I'll hear about it in the comments, but it's just neat to see this as a high-end option. With that, Doc out.